Hey guys, in this video we're going to look at how to write data to a file using Python. Now, we just saw how you can use arguments to pass data into a Python program, but how do you get data out? So far we've been using the print command to print data out to the user, but you can also use a file. That's another output, obviously a pretty popular one as well. There's more information on how to do this in later chapters, but right now I just want you to kind of get used to thinking about input and output. And we've seen how you can collect input in real at runtime when the program is running using the input command, and how to print out information to the user at runtime with the print command. And now we've seen how to use arguments to pass in values before the program starts running. And now I want to show you how to read data after the program finishes running by storing the data in a file. So this is output to a file. Now Python makes it really quite easy. What you have to do is you go through it and you use the open command. You put in the path to the file, and then you open it for either reading or appending or reading and writing or other choices. The simplest one to work with for right now is just an append mode. And once it's open, this variable here will have a handle on that file. They call this a file handler. So this variable now points to that file, and you can call the write function or method to write data in there. I'm just going to go ahead and write some data that the user inputs. I'll add a carriage return at the end, and then I'll close the connection. Now once the connection is open, any changes I make to the file will be written in memory. So when I call write, it writes the change to memory. When I close the connection, it takes the data that you changed in memory and saves it to the hard drive. So it's important to open it and close it. Otherwise, if you don't close it, it actually never gets written to the hard drive. You've seen this behavior before. If I were to open up something like Notepad, and I put some data in there, and then I close it, but I don't save it, I did make a change to the data, but I never actually persisted on the hard drive. So when you go ahead and close it, it will actually go ahead and automatically save it. Okay, this code is actually pretty easy to work with. There's only a couple things you have to worry about. Let me go ahead and load it up in PyCharm here. First of all, the path has to exist. I've been using this path all along. If you have not, if you've been using a different path, you'll need to adjust it. Second of all, you have to have permissions to write to that file, that folder. If you don't, this is not going to work. Common mistakes are trying to write something directly to C, or not being logged on as an administrator on your machine. Let me bring this up here. So there's my operating system. I'll go to the properties window. I'll see security. I'm logged on as an authenticated user. I'm also logged on as an administrator, but I can go ahead and elevate the permissions for the authenticated users to be able to, let's give them full control for right now. Now that's overkill, but that should allow my program to write to that. Okay, so now there's no file in there yet called testdata.txt, but when I run this thing, there should be. Now it's waiting for my input, and it's made the file. The file has nothing in it as of yet. When I make the change, it actually will go ahead and change the value in memory. It's only after I close it that the value gets saved to the hard drive. And there it is. So pretty easy to do. If you add a loop like this one here, you could go through and say, okay, open a connection to the file, and then type in a string you want to write. Keep looping until I tell you to stop. Type in exit to stop. When they type in their data, as long as they don't type in the word exit, it'll continue to loop and write to the file. If they type in the word exit, I break out of the loop and I close the connection. And at that point, at that point they'll have their data. So if I go through and grab this code again, I type in exit, and of course I'm converting it to lowercase so that just in case that they type in something different, it exits out. If I go look in that file, I'll see that my new data was put in there. Cool. So as you can see, Python makes it real easy to output code to a text file. And that's good because one of the things you're going to do for your homework assignment is to output data to a text file. You're going to take data in using the input command and output data to the text file for safekeeping. That way it can be looked at a later point in time. Okay, that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next.